Masvidal versus Mike Perry in Dirty Boxing seems exciting. I thought that would also be a perfect matchup. That'd be a fun fight. I think Masvidal's calling out Leon Edwards. I don't even mind them booking that, to be honest with you. That'd be fun. Just for big fights. Islam got sick knees as well in the clinch. I know, I just was mentioning them in round 3. But Ilia got those nasty body shots. Yeah, but did they put down Makhachev at lightweight? I don't know, man. Poirier's got good body work. Stop watching my boy not fulfill the MMA prophecy. All right. I could still see Ilia winning. I'm just... The counter arguments are seeping into my head, man. And they're becoming very clear. That's all. Personally, chat, I think Makhachev submits Holloway in 2 rounds. That's my honest opinion on that fight. I think Makhachev submits Holloway in 2 rounds at lightweight. I know it's a different style on that, and I'm not even using it to compare to the Ilia fight, but first or second, I think he submits him. Because Holloway just ain't got the pop off the back foot to get respect. So I think Makhachev would just smush him and sub him in a round or 2. Look at Makhachev's back and shoulders at 155, man. How the fuck does he make that weight class? It's probably, you know what? He probably has pretty frail legs. That's probably what it is. Some frail little legs that he's got. Has UFC already peaked? I mean, it peaked in the Mcgregor era, let's face it. We're never getting those days back. People forget, man. On McGregor's rise, we had Lawler as champ and the Jones DC rematch, and so much spite in these matchups. Garbrandt versus Cruz. I mean, UFC, fucking hell, what year was it? UFC peaked in 2016, I think. Yeah, I think 2016 was when it peaked. Ilia smile, no! I feel like you're completely ignoring how much better of a grappler Ilia is than Dustin. Ilia would chop Islam down like a tree. I'm going to keep it very real with you. I'm just going to keep it very, very real with you. Name me where is the example that Ilia is a way better grappler than Dustin Poirier. Please give me an example as to why you think that. Enough to shuck off Islam Makhachev. The Bryce fight where he dropped Bryce badly twice and then subbed him. Really badly concussed Bryce, wobbled him all over the place, put him down and then subbed him. Please tell me the example. I'm completely ignoring the evidence that Ilia is way better than Dustin Poirier. Dustin gets subbed every title fight. Let me put this to you. Ilia ain't fought Charles Oliveira at 155 yet. You're speaking like you know. We don't know yet. You guys are arguing on like evidence that would happen. That hasn't happened. We don't have the information yet on Ilia. We have it with Makhachev. He started with jiu-jitsu. So does every gay guy. I'm joking now. But so does every fucking martial artist, dude. It's common sense, retard. Dude, I don't think Bryce Mitchell, at any point in a contest with Dustin Poirier, takes him down in round 1. I just don't think it happens. I don't think it happens. I love Ilia. I want him to win. I'm just thinking from a prediction standpoint. I don't know if he's got it at lightweight, man. He competed in youth wrestling in Georgia on a national level. He competed at a dude, I competed in a national level at Taekwondo. I don't mean shit. You don't mean shit. I can't throw a wheel kick. I know I'm not Ilia, but still, like, I know it's good, and he has a Greco-Roman background, but I don't know, man. I can just competing at a national level as a kid. I don't know. But there's no evidence that he doesn't have it at lightweight. But he got taken down by Bryce at the end of round 1 and held down for a minute. No? I'm not acting like Bryce is shit. But you're acting like we ain't comparing him to Islam fucking Makhachev at lightweight, man. I'm not acting like Bryce is shit. But look at who we're comparing him. Look at the matchups that Ilia's now going to. That was one fight like 3 years ago. It's the only example we have. It's the only example we have of his grappling. I don't know, man. It's tricky. Thank you very much for the $2. 55 TRY. Better scrambler, sure. Better BJJ transitions. Yes. A nice looking suplex, sure. But Ilia is not a better grappler than Dustin. We don't know yet. Put it this way. Ilia might have better entries on takedowns. Cool. Better submit. Where's the evidence of like this better submission history? Like he rocked Bryce all over the place, left him a bloody mess, and then arm triangled him. It was a good win. There's no evidence. Like, okay. Better entries on takedowns and better initial takedown defense instincts. In terms of surviving a grappling exchange in an MMA fight throughout 5 rounds, Poirier is one of the fucking best. Thank you for the 55. TRY. Poirier is a survivalist. Poirier was getting out grappled by Dan Hooker for the first 3 rounds. You don't remember the fight correctly in any way. The only times Dan Hooker took down Dustin Poirier was in the last 3 rounds, and those are the rounds that Dustin Poirier won. You're incorrect. And half the top control of Dan Hooker was him being stuck in a guillotine against Dustin Poirier. And a lot of the top control of Dan Hooker in round 4 was him stuck in an armbar off bottom from Dustin Poirier. You don't remember the fight correctly. Don't weigh in on the topic. How would Oliveira do against Bilal? I think that the lightweights would do well at welterweight in general. Ilia was an elite grappler in the regional scene. UFC's elite. I know. Better scrambler. Ready. Yeah. I'm caught up now. People forget Bryce controlled Ilia on the ground. He did, but you know. How can Ilia beat Bilal? I don't think he can. You think Gaethje beats Topuria? How would it go? I think Topuria would beat Gaethje. Thank you for the 2. Tricky, but I think Topuria would beat him. Gaethje's too standstill-ish, and I think Topuria could catch him on the inside. Like, Gaethje ain't beating him to a hook up, to an uppercut up the middle. You know what I mean? On the inside boxing level. And Gaethje does a lot of reaching for single collars and shit, and I think that's where Ilia would just tear him up with combinations. Guys, Lucas Tracy ranked Islam S tier for dangerous grappling. People forget, man. Topuria has no chance. True. Thank you for the 8 Australia. Well, I don't know if he has no chance. Listen, I think there's an argument for Ilia, but I'm yet to hear a good one other than, like, you know, but it's his destiny. I swear to fucking God, that's the only argument I'm hearing so far. But, dude, this is his destiny. It's written in the prophecy. This is all I'm hearing for Topuria. There's no argument based on evidence we have. There's just like, but dude, trust us. You got to trust us on this one, dude. He's gonna. Trust us. He's got it in the bag. So yeah, that's literally the argument. It's a strong argument because so far he's had some pretty great plot armor, and I am excited for the fight, but I don't know, man. It was promised 3,000 years ago. It was written. I don't know. This is the argument I'm hearing for Ilia. Charles and Islam are bigger and better versions of Bryce. I'd say so. Thank you for the £5. I think even Bryce would say so as well. Any guy with a submission game finished him when it got to the ground. All 3 of his title fights, for example. Listen to me right fucking now, Kyle Rasmussen. Any guy with a submission game finished him 3 times. Oliveira, Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Any guy with a submission game. Just any guy. Just any guy with a submission game subbed him. Oliveira, Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Legitimately the 3 greatest UFC lightweights of all time. Okay, TKZ way earlier in his career caught him in a dash choke. Cool. When he was baby Poirier. Cool. Not casual take, but this is the guy. Any guy. No. Not any guy. And TKZ was putting a whooping on him as well. Yeah, he was on fire that night. He was. He was putting a fucking beat down on baby fucking fat-faced Poirier. He's a Moroccan. Get out of there. Thank you for the $2 or the €2. I could see Islam having a kick-heavy approach. I think so as well. I think he'd blast kicks into Ilia's arms, pin him to his head with a high and tight guard, and then just shoot in deep. Push him up against the cage, start trying to trip out his legs, get around his waist, drag him down, crab walk him to the side. Current Ilia smokes Bryce quicker. Yeah, I'd agree. He has improved. This is the argument, right? Has he improved enough to take out these lightweights? Poirier looked slower and was outboxed by basic combos from Islam, and Topuria might have better takedown entries that spaced in Islam. Just going to move on. A lot to fear. Who is Joe? Is the name of it? I don't know if he has the same. I don't know if he has better entries than Makhachev, to be honest with you, man. I don't know. You got to understand that Makhachev has good entries of takedowns when people know that that's immediately what he wants on them in fights. Ilia has good entries on takedowns when he's already fucked people up on the feet and cracked them with big shots that could switch their lights off. Then he gets a good entry. Makhachev's, they know he wants it, and he still gets it on him. You know? Put it this way, chat. Makhachev went into the Dustin Poirier fight. The Dustin Poirier that fought Makhachev. Makhachev went into that fight, took down Poirier within 30 seconds, kept him down for the entire round. Does Ilia Topuria do that if he wants to do that to Dustin Poirier? Does he get a takedown and hold Poirier down for a round of an MMA fight? Do you think? I don't think at all. Makhachev gets his takedowns from the clinch. I'm going to say it right now. Entries of a takedown does not equal a complete takedown. Entries of a takedown means how well do you get to the hips, and then Makhachev will go from the hips to do what he wants with next. Yes, it's his destiny. Okay, all right. He's dangerous, man. I could see him winning, but I'm just... there's so many arguments for Makhachev. So many arguments for Makhachev right now. Ilia's the chosen one. Okay, on hood, Ilia wins. Slugging it out. I mean, this has been the argument the entire stream so far. Spain for hours and Ilia does it again. All right. Thank you for the membership, Crimson Hater. I appreciate that. Why are we acting like Ilia versus DP wasn't a 50-50 fight a week ago? I know, people actually forget how good Dustin really is. He is really good. And Dustin's very, very hard to finish in fights. Ilia versus Zalal isn't a good look. I mean, that was ages ago. I don't even bring up the Zalal fight. I've intentionally not brought up the Zalal fight that much. Purely because of how long ago it was. I'm going back to like the Bryce fight minimum is what I'm going back to. Nobody else even grapples with him, so we have no evidence of Dustin's survival. Benoit Saint-Denis, I mean, we have evidence of Dustin's survival. But then again, Alvarez did take him down. And he was positionally saved by Alvarez's illegal elbows. So I get it. Thank you for the 5. But I don't think there's any argument, dude. He's got good survival. Poirier's got good... He's very difficult to finish in any way in an MMA fight. He just is. The amount of fights that he's had in the game, the amount of 5-rounders he's had, you got to be dynamic to finish Poirier. You know what I mean? Unless you're as dominant as Khabib, you have to be incredibly dynamic. What do you think UFC's cooking in the lightweight division? I don't know. I think they're going to do Topuria Oliveira and Makhachev weights for the winner, I think. Aussie accent. Ilia Topuria. Thank you for the 2. No. Me and Du Bronx fraud check that fake Spaniard. Okay. There may be better arguments for Islam, but we are better. Okay, this is the argument back, I guess. Wait, we're debating Ilia DP or Ilia Islam. Don't act like you don't know what we were debating. Because you had a really bad take. Regardless what we're arguing, you saying Ilia's got better entries on takedowns because he took down Holloway once is not a good argument. It doesn't matter who we were. No, it doesn't matter if you got here late, who's Joe. Listen, who's Joe with Ilia's fucking face zoomed in on your profile pic. We know who you're rooting for, okay? Saying he has better entries on takedowns because he took down Holloway once is bizarre behavior. And Holloway got right back up. Holloway is not ever getting up if Makhachev gets him down in the first round. He'll have to survive a round on bottom position. Ilia's one takedown against Max took too much muscle. I wouldn't say that. He just chucked him down because he wanted to put the threat in his head whenever he backed up against a cage. Which UFC fighter is most likely to get a Boston Crab submission? UFC fighter is most likely to get a Boston Crab sub. It's got to be someone who's like thrives on the humiliation. You know what? Yeah, I could see Jailton Almeida doing it to like some fat heavyweight. You know, I think Jailton Almeida could legitimately pull off a Boston Crab against fucking Marcin Tybura. Thank you for the 5. I wish Ilia never moved up. It ruined my dream of Yan going on a tear, getting the belt, moving up, and fighting Ilia for the belt. Okay, yeah. I want to see Yan, but I don't think Yan would do well at feather. He's a little too small. Khalil Roundtree? I mean, maybe, yeah. JDM against Bilal, true. Islam might be from the cliffs, but Ilia's going to put a rose in a box again. You are looking at attributes when you need to look at plot armor. I guess I didn't consider the plot armor, yeah. Thank you for the $5. Who's Joe? Who is Joe? I know. Thank you for the 2. He's already a small bantamweight. Yeah, Yan's already small for bantamweight. Chat, listen to UFC 2016. Are you ready for this, chat? UFC 2016. Now I've caught up on this. This is the best year of UFC. I just brought it up because it's on my screen now because someone asked me when did the UFC peak. Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit to start the year. Okay? Then Dillashaw versus Cruz is on the very next card with Pettis Alvarez on the card as well. Rumble on a card. Hendricks Thompson on a fight night. That was a wicked performance from him. Some shitty fight nights. Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping in February. Okay? McGregor, Nate Diaz 1. March pay-per-view, UFC 196. Mark Hunt, Frank Mir on a fight card. Some other fight night cards. 197, John Jones comes back to fight OSP. And DJ beats Demetrius, Edson Barboza, Anthony Pettis. For the time, these were sick fights. 198 is Vadum Miocic. Wicked. Garbrandt's coming up. Luke Rockhold, Michael Bisping is UFC 199. What's UFC 200? UFC 200 is UFC 200. You know what it is. Little bit fell off, but the controversy actually made that event. UFC 201, Woodley beats Lawler. 202, McGregor, Nate Diaz 2. UFC 203, Stipe Overeem. CM Punk debut, that card. 204, Bisping Henderson in the UK. Fucking shit, fucking fight. Oh well. Henderson got robbed. Alvarez Mcgregor 205. This is still 2016. And then we end 2016 with Holloway Pettis, UFC 207, Cruz Garbrandt, Nunes beats Rousey. These are sick. This is a sick year of MMA. Such a sick year of MMA. Who is Joe? Thank you for the 4 months of membership. Jan at 125. Okay, thank you for the 2. If you were black, you'd be Khalil Round Pig. All right, thank you. Impression of MMA Joey eating Ghibli's poo casserole and saying he loves it out of fear. He has to enjoy everyone's culture except for his own. MMA Joey eating Ghibli's poo casserole and this is delicious. You're welcome here. Thank you for the 5 Australian dollars. I don't think they make poo casserole. Ortega got more impressive takedowns on Volk than Islam did. I think Ilia gives... Just going to move on to the second statement. I think Ilia gives Islam the stocky short problems he has with Volk, but still a toss-up. All right. I'll give it a 5. Thoughts on Pyfer trashing Mexico on his Instagram? I saw that. Yeah, he went after them massively. Nobody cares about 2016, little bro. Keep getting cooked for riding Islam. I'm not riding. Oh, I am. Well, I'm not, but I think he's going to win. Thank you for the $5. Volk would beat every lightweight on the planet in UFC 284 except Islam. What do you think? Yeah. I don't know. I'd still worry about him against Oliveira. But yeah, I don't mind that take. He could beat Oliveira. I probably would pick him. I just don't know if he beats Makhachev, man. Do you think Volk beats Diego? And if he does, how long will Volk be champ again? I think if he beats Diego and he gets back into his flow, he beats Evloev and then he would beat whoever's next. Thank you for the 5. Will you ever do a collab with Bedtime or Lucas? I don't think the Lucas collab's going to happen because he's kind of just doing his videos, but maybe Bedtime. It's not really at the top of my mind, to be honest with you. I was going to over the time off over Christmas, but I ended up traveling a bit, didn't I? So it didn't end up happening, but maybe. Thank you for the £5. Diaz brothers versus Arman and Hamzat in a street fight. Arman and Hamzat. Hamzat would deal with Nate Diaz immediately, and Nick Diaz would be trying to light a fucking plant on the ground while Arman stomps out Nate's dead body. Thank you for the £5, dude. Nate Diaz gets dealt with by Chimaev immediately, and Nick Diaz is fucking crawling around on the ground like a goblin trying to set fire to a leaf. I don't know if you saw that video of him on the street, but yeah. Nick Diaz ain't got it anymore. Taken Topuria was still 24 when he fought Bryce. I know. They give it a 3 Australian dollars. What's one UFC event you wish you've seen live in person? UFC 217. UFC 217. 229 would have been cool, but man, I would love to have been there, not knowing the results beforehand of UFC 217. At the time, you know? That was such a good card. So you start the card. Put it this way. You start the card. Ramos spinning elbow KOs Amy and Zahabi. Shuts his fucking lights off up against the cage. I believe it was a spinning elbow. Curtis Blades fucks up Alexei Olenek after that. Then Randy Brown beats up on Mickey Gall. It is a shit fight. OSP head kick KOs Corey Anderson. Godbeer, Walt Harris, illegal finish. James Vick puts hands on Joe Duffy, finishes him. Main card, Costa assaults Johnny Hendricks. Wonderboy Styles on Masvidal for 3 rounds. Then Namajunas upsets Jędrzejczyk by KO. Dillashaw Garbrandt go back and forth and KO for Dillashaw. And then GSP is returning and he beats Bisping in the 3rd round and submits him. That was sick. Did Ortega not get slick trips on Volk? Did Makhachev not control Volk on the ground and had his back taken for like entire rounds at times? Cool, he got a slick trip on Volk. But yeah, he did take down Volk, but that wasn't where he had his most successful work. The guillotine was when he landed a punch on Volk as Volk went for a kick. You know, and the triangle was when Volk was beating up on him. Islam would pressure Ilia with heavy kicks, glitch, and takedowns. Ilia can't use his pressure style he does with these featherweights to get the KO. I don't know. I'd probably go Makhachev. I'm leaning Makhachev in there. But I would want Ilia to beat his ass. If you could control a fighter like Real Steel, who would it be and who would you want coaching you? I'd control Alexander Rakic and I'd carry him to the light heavyweight world championship. And in his corner, it would be me. Real Steel style. It wouldn't be who would I want coaching me. It would be me with a VR headset as Rakic. And I can like calm his heartbeat down whenever I want to. Many deaths were caused by Nick lighting a leaf. All I'm saying is that video came out of Nick Diaz setting fire to a bush in California and then the flames began. Why do you hate the whites? I don't. In a way I do though. I hate what they've become. Hey, Guru, who do you think deserves to KO Covington? Deserves to KO. I mean, maybe he'll take the Prates fight. That'd be a dangerous one for him. Impression of Poopy Godinez not being able to hold it in and ruins DC's shoes during the post-fight speech. Jubilee then rushes the cage like a moth to a flame. I cannot fucking hold it, DC. I'm going to poo, man. Ay. Oh, I whooped it all now. You pulled on my damn shoe now. Don't fucking waste it. You're wasting the poo, you know. As in Dana White and his career. I don't remember what you said at first. Why do you hate the whites? Oh, Dana White and his career. Bisping can be like the British Michael Scott. And I know you rip on him, but do you respect what he's done in the sport? Yeah. Thank you for the 1 month of membership. Yeah, I do. Do you think Matt Brown is underappreciated? Yeah, I think Matt Brown's underappreciated. He has some nasty KOs. Doesn't he have the most... Well, he doesn't have the most KOs anymore, but didn't he, like, near tie with Derek Lewis for UFC KOs? I think so. Ilia loses to Takanori Gomi in his prime, bro. Alright, shut up, man. Nick Diaz was the Stockton arsonist. He may have been. Well, we don't know. I'm not going to make those claims, but there was a video of him crawling around on the ground like a goblin and setting fire to leaves. Which is true. Most finishing is... Yeah, he must have the most finishes at welterweight, yeah. Diego Sanchez KO is crazy. You know what's the craziest thing of Matt Brown's career for the time that he did it? Fraud checking Wonderboy Thompson. People forget, man. Nobody beat up on Wonderboy like that.